Well, hey, everyone, and welcome to the Jeep Life Podcast. This is the recording of episode 417. And I have Red Panda, a.k.a. Lexi, in the studio with me tonight. That's my special guest.
Hey guys, what's up?
Let's see who is the first one to join on. I know that people had a busy weekend this weekend, and I'm sorry that we're coming a little bit early, but we had festivities today, and we're all tired, and so we needed to get our thing grooving, and we have one showing up, so we'll see what happens. See, that's Matt Hutt. What's up, Matty? Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Yeah, Dustin, you're the first one from Canada. Good to see ya. Yo, Mike, third on here. You're slipping.
Oh, come on, Mike. Get on it.
Yeah, get on it. I love it. What's up, Jess? Well, everybody, as you can see, I don't have Breakability in the studio with me. I have my daughter, Lex, and she is Red Panda.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Jason, how's it going? She's been on the show before. I don't know that she's actually been a full guest host. I can't remember.
I think maybe once, but it was a while ago.
Yeah.
Maybe like first year.
Yeah, maybe. It was a good chunk of time ago.
Yeah.
What's up, Dave? Good to hear from you. Maybe we'll talk soon, because our mutual friend, he and I had a conversation yesterday, so we want to make sure that we touch base. All right. Yeah, so we're gonna let some other people join on, and we've got a real loose agenda tonight. We're gonna play it fast and loose. Dave says, "Good to see you," and
Hi, Dave.
you need to show off that Jeep to Dave at some point.
I will when I
know.
see Dave. I have to see Dave first. See how that works.
I do see how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to loose with the agenda. I have an agenda. We'll see if we can take it with it. But really, tonight's about Lexi and some of the tips that we can give for our listeners as it pertains to maintenance.
Yeah. Well, I just did that.
Right. That's why this is very topical.
Oh, great. That's perfect.
What's up, Jake? I got Red Panda in the studio. It's my daughter, Lex.
Hey, what's up?
We're gonna have fun tonight. Breakability is out at the Bantam Jeep Festival, so he's not with us tonight. But yeah, it's okay. We let him go out and have the fun now, and we'll be in the studio. We'll get a couple more minutes to let some other people join us, and then we'll kick it off. What's up, Jamie? Lex Jack says, "Hey."
Hi.
Yeah, get your water. A little dehydrated.
Yeah, well, gotta wake up at 7 and run, so.
Yeah, you got conditioning tomorrow. No worry. Oh yeah. So here, I have to translate because Lexi doesn't have the running commentary up. But it's Dustin, we appreciate you. He says hello, Red Panda, and then has a little red panda emoji.
There's a red panda emoji? How do I not know this?
I don't know. Sounds like you've got an awesome Jeep. TJs are some of the best Jeeps ever.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
And it runs smoothly, which I think is perfect, especially after we did that oil change.
Yep.
Changed it completely.
What's up, Canada? How you doing, Mark? Um, yeah. We'll see if we can get Lex down to Wildwood. We're working on that. She's a very accomplished high school athlete, and sometimes the summers dictate, and especially during season, but summers dictate, a lot of her activities.
My goal is to make it to Wildwood because I went last year and very much enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Boardwalk, seeing all the Jeeps, all the people, meeting a bunch of new people that I've heard about but haven't really met.
Yeah.
And so I would love to do that again, and hopefully it's not as hot.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get you down. It's going to be hot.
Oh, I figured, but
it's Wildwood in the summer.
let me just hope. Here, let me have hope.
I like it. All right, since we've got a good little group going, I'm going to go ahead and hit that intro button and get things kicked off. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeep Life Podcast. We're that podcast that we celebrate the Jeep life, and we are proudly presented by Armalite, the toughest flooring on the trail. I can't say enough good things about Armalite, and now that I have Red Pin in the studio, tell me about your Armalite, kid.
I love it so much. It's incredible. And the amount of times I've literally just blown air into it and gotten all the dirt and stuff out because we've had the top off for a couple weeks now, taking off the hard top, getting a soft top on its way, right?
Yep.
So a bunch of stuff gets in it, but you can just open the plugs, get it all out, and it's seamless. And the back is so tightly done. It's so nice. I love it. I could go on and on about how much I love it, and it's so comfortable. My feet aren't hot on the flooring, which it kind of was when we just had regular pads. It'd get a little warmer than I would like it to, especially now that I'm driving. The differences between it are just it's quieter. It's perfect. I love it so much.
That's awesome. So Armalite, if you're listening out there, Dave and Kel and team, the TJ is absolutely spectacular. The TJ version is wonderful. When we first did the JK versions, when they first came out several years ago, I liked the fit and finish, but the instructions didn't say do anything with the seats or anything, and you just kind of were on your own to do that. The TJ actually has you pull all the seats and the console, right?
Yeah, the console came out. You did that part, so I kind of forgot about that. But
right.
I was able to get the seats out even with my back being pulled and stuff. So
yeah. And then you put it in.
Yeah.
And that allows for such a seamless fit. I think the fit and finish on the TJ is as good as the J. Actually, I think it's better than the JK and JL version.
I've been in yours. Maybe I'm biased because it's my own car, but it's perfect.
Yeah. It is perfect. That's a good way to describe it.
It wasn't difficult to put in.
Yeah.
What I was expecting was that it was going to be a 4-hour project. It was going to take forever, and we were going to get frustrated.
Yeah.
And you get frustrated with most projects because something's bound to go wrong.
That's right.
Nothing goes perfectly right. But you weren't frustrated with the product. You were frustrated with the vehicle. Not one of the bolts being rusted and having to worry about that.
Yes.
By the way, every project you do on a TJ, there's going to be one bolt, and it's going to be the last one you do. It's going to be rusted. And you're going to be like, great, now I have to get it cut off or figure something out.
So our thanks to Armalite for their faith in us being one of our sponsors, and putting the TJ flooring in for you was pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, and it also told me where to cut it, which was nice.
It did give you guidelines.
There were different guidelines for different TJs, different
Configurations, yep.
years. So, but and it told you on the directions which one it was, and it wasn't like labeled on it, or you cut all of them and then
Yep.
you realize, that doesn't work for how I want it.
Right.
No, you cut it once and you are set for the whole thing.
Yep,
It's
absolutely.
perfect.
So cool. Thanks, Armorlight, and for making that happen. As you can see, I'm your host, Jeep and Terry, and I'm joined by my kid, my mini-me, if you will, Lexi, and she goes by Red Panda. That's her Jeep.
Yeah, Red
What
Panda Adventure on Instagram.
Yep.
If you've seen me on there, I'm always working on that Jeep if I have time.
Right.
Whenever I have time, when I'm not doing my sport or some school activity.
Yep. It's awesome to watch you do that, and I admire you tremendously for the effort you're doing. Yeah, but she's on us tonight. She has a 2002 TJ red. It is truly a mini-me.
Yeah. Sadly.
What color would you have chosen if you had?
I don't know. I think I like the yellow.
The yellow
nice.
looks good on
I
the TJ.
do like
Yep.
the yellow. But I'd probably go like a black or orange. I really like the black with like you can pick whatever color you want the accent, and you have more like control. Whereas this, it's like I could do black or I could do black. You know, that's my my two options. Which I do love the red and black color scheme. I mean, those are my school colors, so it's like I've been used to it
for a while.
For
right?
12 years of my life now.
Yep. Well, that's awesome, and I know this week we did some work on Red Panda. Right? Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Quite a bit
of work. I was
work.
thinking of the tires, but
well, let's talk about the tires. You put new tires and wheels on.
Yeah, Mickey Thompson Baja
Boss ATs.
Yeah, Baja Boss 8 and what is it? 33 inch?
33. Yep.
Yeah, and then I took your old wheels, the
Baja Extremes.
Yeah.
From Quadratec.
Yeah. Got
in a nice gray
gunsmoke gray, right?
Gunmetal gray.
Gunmetal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. I think it looks kind of funny just because I'm not used to it because I had like the puny tires that were on there before.
Right.
But they like stick out. They're big and like I don't have a lift on my Jeep yet, so it's low centered and it just. When I first saw it, it looked kind of funny to me because I don't know what I was expecting.
Yeah.
But since we have like the what is it? Because it's a different type of wheelbase or like connecting it. That extends it out an inch.
Now, what she's talking about is she has some wheel adapters, right, to go from JK 4.5 inch lug pattern to a 5.5.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to go with some TJ wheels, but it just wasn't in the budget.
Yeah, no.
And I had these 17s, laying around waiting, and so we just we made it work, and it looks great. So I've got gold and red work really well.
Oh,
because you had talked about that at one point.
I was thinking more tan because of a Red Panda. They got the tan accents. But you can't really find a lot of the things that are tan, so I just decided, I guess, I'll lean into what you have and do the black and red. So that's where I'm going with that now.
And, blue and red look good together.
Yeah.
Our friend Huddy's wife, Jess, I love her blue accents on her red Jeep.
Those are nice, yeah.
We could look the same, but just those blue accents really change.
Hey, maybe I'll look into it. Couple more colors doesn't hurt anyone.
Yeah, so those Mickey Thompsons, I've been looking at those for a while.
Yeah.
From my Jeep. They're all-terrain, but they're the beefiest all-terrain tire you've ever seen.
They're definitely beefy.
And they're really super quiet on the road. They're actually quieter than the street tires you took off.
Yeah, well, those weren't
in great shape.
Those were questionable.
Right.
Those were like barely had any tread on it, and you were like, is this safe? Oh well.
Yeah, I wouldn't let you drive if it rained. We were not taking that vehicle.
We did though.
Every once in a while, but no.
Don't tell Mom.
But that's a perfect size tire. They look beefy.
Yeah.
I know that my good friend Matt has a set on his, and after wheeling with him, I'm like, those do just as well as MTs.
And they'll do, like, I don't know if they'll, I think they do better on roads, right? Or they're
Oh,
quieter
they're
on roads.
Definitely, that's what they're made for.
Yeah.
So you have to look at how much time you spend on a road versus how much time you spend on the trail and what trails you're going to do.
I have off-roaded once.
You have, and
It was not in my team.
We talked about that last week.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
is that what you have to do?
I know that we're waiting to do a 2.5-inch lift on
Yeah.
yours. Not a huge lift, but just something to get a little more space in the tire well, and it will allow you 2.5 will allow you some flexibility. So
And what? Right now, I don't even have my license, so I can't
right,
be going anywhere anyways. Like on
not
my
on
own.
your own, right? Exactly.
So
we did that to your Jeep this week. Dr. Don, I spent some time with Dr. Don, and he mounted those for you.
yes, love it.
And we appreciate him. We've got an upcoming episode where Dr. Don will join us in the studio and is going to do a kind of a recap of an event he's got going with our friend Ron Harrington. And we love Ron and the stuff he does with overlanding, so it'll be a good recap of that. But we went over to Frank, our driveway mechanic. He wanted to share an experience with you.
Yeah.
So we did some maintenance on your Jeep.
Yeah, he taught me how to change my oil, do some brake fluid, and some other fluid of some sort that I'm not thinking of right now for some reason. Coolant.
Yeah.
Got it.
We looked at it all under the hood.
Yeah.
Which is great. But you changed your oil for the first time, which is
That
kind
I
of
did.
a great thing for anyone to be able to do, but let alone a 16-year-old kid. You've turned so many wrenches on both yours and my Jeep, but for you, it was good to do it on your own. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great time until I burned my fingers. Let's go with that. But yeah, learning something new. I've been wanting to learn this for a while because it's a good thing to know, and I know I was going to need it eventually.
Yep.
So so thankfully Frank offered to do it. And I don't know, it went smoothly. I did all of it by myself. I learned what socket my drain plug takes. I took it off, burned my fingers slightly, but it's fine.
Well, we let the engine cool a little bit.
Yeah.
But obviously not long enough.
No.
It was still nice and warm.
Yeah.
But your fingers aren't used to
Yeah, no, definitely.
handling that heat.
That's the only really reason. I mean, I think the filter was still quite hot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think a lot of people could have handled that heat, to be honest,
Yeah.
because I held it for like 2 seconds to get warm. And then I was like, this is burning. It's going to fall out of my hands. And then I dropped it and made a mess in Frank's garage.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Frank.
It wasn't the first bit of oil that's touched
No, you could
his.
see it. It's fine.
Yeah, between his Mustang,
The-
his Corvette,
Her
Amy's
Corvette.
Mustang, and both of their Jeeps.
Yeah.
There's been oil on the floor in the
Oh.
garage.
Well, you can see it.
No, right.
I just added to the stain.
So that was great for you to learn that skill. I know that in the 4.0, everything's super easy to get to.
Oh, yeah. It's all right at the top, or maybe like you have to reach your hand in a little bit.
Yeah.
As someone who is very short, though,
Yeah.
it's hard to get to some of those places because you got to like stand up, lean over, try not to touch all the hot bits as you're like putting your whole body weight into the Jeep upside down.
Yeah.
But, I mean, once you get it like loose, it's really the loosening part that's the toughest.
Yeah.
Because you got to put like your whole weight on it, and like I had no ground. I was standing on a plastic step,
Little stool. Right.
and I was like, this is gonna fall. This is gonna fall. I'm gonna die somehow.
Right.
But no, it was fine.
You look mostly graceful. I've got a couple
Yeah.
pictures of you working in it.
Well, in the head, I was thinking it's gonna fall. It's gonna fall.
No, you're doing great. And then you did drop the oil filter into the oil, and
My hands still hurt. What do I have to say? How many times do I have to say this? It wasn't my fault.
no, that's okay. I mean, accidents happen. And then we talked about how to check your oil,
Yeah.
how to check your other fluid, your
Mhm.
transmission fluid, your brake fluid, your coolant.
Yeah.
I think our next project for the Red Panda from a maintenance standpoint will be another fluid situation, and we're going to talk in the main portion of the show tonight about some of the maintenance and how you can do that yourself. And look, if a 16-year-old kid can do it on a 21-year-old vehicle, you can get under yours and do it. So
I feel like that's an insult somehow.
it's definitely not.
I think it is. I think he's trying to insult me.
No.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
So in the news, this is kind of a thing I picked up in the middle of the week, and it's interesting. And you and I, Lex, we point out every 4xe
Oh yeah.
that you can find, right?
Oh yeah. We parked next to one earlier today. I was like,
I
oh
know.
my god, look.
I love the 4xe and the plug-in hybrid. I'm excited about the potential of an all-electric Jeep.
Oh yeah.
I do know that that's coming, and that the head of Jeep really wants to increase the wheeling factor.
Yeah.
Factory. Like the new ones, especially the 2023 Rubicons. They're getting a 10 out of 10 right now on wheeling factor.
Wow, really?
Straight off because they come stock with 35s. They come
bigger than my Jeep already.
Yeah.
Straight out of the lot. Wow.
And the crawl ratios are really, really solid. They are wheeling beasts. Jeep isn't backing down on the wheeling factor.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see what they do with the plug-in hybrid and the full electric in the future for wheeling.
Yeah. Well, with the hybrid, you can already tell that thing has power behind it.
Right.
Like when you hear it start up, it might not be that roar of an engine, but
Yeah.
you can tell
It's
with
silent.
you hear a little bit. I mean, there is still an engine inside of it, so you hear it, but it has the vibe of something that could tow something of 1 million pounds.
Well, so I don't know, and this is a fault on my part. I'm not sure on if the plug-in hybrid has increased the towing capacity, but I know that it's increased the torque.
Yeah.
To the point that the plug-in hybrid is instant torque that's greater than what I have in my JK or what people have in their JL. And just at speed, the torque is rated exactly the same.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a powerful little thing. Now, speaking of the plug-in hybrid, the 2024 edition of the Jeep Wrangler will have a Sport S series in the plug-in hybrid.
Oh.
And that means that there's a lower cost option.
Oh, that's nice.
For people wanting the 4xe. It started out in the Sahara and then went Rubicon and then added some other trim levels and the Willys, but now they've added the Sport S trim level, which is the lowest, but it's dropped the cost on it by over $4,000.
Wow.
From what the 2023 models are.
Yeah.
So that's exciting news.
Can't wait to see more 4xEs out there then. It's going to be more populated with that if it's cheaper.
Well, it's already the most popular plug-in hybrid, period.
Even over Tesla? Well, not a Tesla. Never mind.
It's a fully electric.
Fully electric. My bad.
But it is the we're getting an instant update. Thanks, Jamie. The tow rating is the same on the 4xEs.
Right, yeah.
So that's awesome to know.
Thanks, Jamie.
But couple the $4,000 less on the Sport, which has the same drivetrain as everything before it. It'll have the 2.0 liter 4-cylinder turbo. It's a good buy. I have a Sport.
Yeah.
You have a Sport, and both are very capable.
Oh, very capable. Yeah.
And then on top of that, there's what was the tax credit? $3,750 tax credit for the plug-in hybrid.
Wow.
So you can it's the 4xE is more expensive than the traditional 3.6 or
As
whatever,
expected, right?
as expected. But with the tax credit and everything, I think it's a fairly affordable entry point for a plug-in hybrid.
As a 16-year-old, what is a tax credit?
Well, it basically is exactly that. You get that money back.
Oh, okay.
I think I haven't bought a vehicle with tax credit. Sometimes you can actually roll that into your purchase
Oh, okay.
and get that money immediately off of the
Instead of getting it back later.
right. But
Okay.
I don't know the details on that. I don't pretend to be a tax professional, but that's basically what you get. Is somehow you get $3,750 credit to your existence.
Oh, okay.
Whether it's in that purchase, rolled into that purchase, or as a part of your taxes later on.
Sounds good.
I don't know the specifics on that, but it makes getting an electric vehicle or a plug-in hybrid more desirable.
Yeah.
And that's the idea. But yeah, so I'm excited for that. It just gets more vehicles in people's hands because we all know that Jeeps are not inexpensive. They're not cheap.
No.
But knowing that the Sport S model is going to be a little bit less than what was originally, what's available today out there is a big deal.
And what are the prices around for today?
I think around 50 for the plug-in hybrid.
Okay.
And about $10,000 less for the traditional.
I'm glad I didn't try to get a recent Jeep. I like my TJ is good.
And of course, as you go up in model,
it's going to be more expensive and
'cause
raise
you
the
get more
price
stuff,
because of course. Isn't that how everything is?
That's exactly how everything is. All right, rolling into events, and Bantam Jeep Fest was this weekend. I didn't get to go this year. Just the way things happen, I didn't get to go. I know Billy's there getting content for us and working it. Wish I could have been there. Shout out to all my peeps at Bantam. But we'll make that happen next year for sure. In July's getting busy, and it's coming up quick. New Jersey Jeep Invasion, Wildwood, New Jersey. I'm going to be there. I will be there. I'll be helping out with some Dirty Dog 4x4.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That sounds nice.
So we have a Dirty Dog 4x4 sunshade on for the Jeep.
Oh,
I don't use it all the time, but it's fun and it looks great.
We love the hair going back and forth in our vehicles.
So I'll be there. It'll be a good time. So make sure to come see me on the evening events. I'll do live broadcasts and stuff from there. We will make that happen, and it'll be a great time.
I'll be trying to make it there as well.
I'm trying to get Red Panda.
I might only be there for like a couple days, and if I am going separately, like you'll go early, and I will be bringing Red Panda.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
So if you all want to see it, I will try my best.
Yep. So that'll be fun. The following week, July 22nd, 23rd, PA Jeep's All Breeds Jeep Show in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. And I will be there as well.
I think I'm available that week.
We'll see.
So I might be there as well. We'll see.
That's always a great show. It's the cool thing I like about that is, well, both of these have obstacle courses, and they're Wildwood's on the sand.
Oh,
how cool is that?
I want to go on that sand so bad, except the cleanup.
I
I don't want to deal with that cleanup. All the windows are up and the hood is on. We are not trying to get as little sand as possible.
Just face it, you're going to have sand everywhere.
Well, that's why we have the Armor Light, because you can just blow it right out. Great investment. Highly recommend.
Truth. August 24th, 26th is Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. I will be there again. I'll be hanging out with the Armor Light guys, and my Jeep, Kylo, will be in the booth. I'll be there probably doing some live broadcasts and stuff. So That'll be a lot of fun. Ocean City Jeep Week is the same weekend. It's in Ocean City, Maryland, and I would love to be able to go there, but I can't split myself in two.
And go different states. That doesn't really work, huh?
And I love Tennessee.
Well,
It's my home
I
state.
would hope that you would, considering your mother lives there and it's your home state.
Yes.
And your brother. Can't forget your brother.
Can't
over
forget
there.
him, no. I would love for him to bring his Jeep up. That'd be a lot of fun.
You should try to convince him.
No kidding. If you or anyone you know has a Jeep event and you want to get on our calendar of events, all you have to do is email us at info@jeeplifepodcast.com, and we will add that to our calendar of events. I think we're going to start taking September events very soon and putting those up on the event calendar because it's coming up this summer.
Oh.
It just started. Literally just started this week for us, and I feel like it's coming to an end.
I mean, my September is busy.
No kidding.
Every day.
I am in love with the fact that you are doing your own maintenance.
Yeah, I mean,
and you're, we've talked about this on the show, that Lexi has, we joke about it all the time, that she's turned as many wrenches, if not more, on my Jeep as I have. But but now she has her own Jeep, and I couldn't be prouder of what you're doing and how you're taking care of that Jeep. So that inspired me to think, what are good regular maintenance items?
that's
to
a great
kinda,
question for anyone who owns a vehicle.
to kind of do. And I mean, you can take this across
Yeah.
almost everything across any vehicle.
Yeah, of course. I mean, maintenance you have to do on any single vehicle, not just a Jeep.
Yep. So, there are regular maintenance items that you should do all the time. And then there are some that are time period
Yeah,
related.
yearly, monthly,
Yep.
biannual.
And since we just did the oil, that is something you should do every 3,000 to 5,000 miles, depending on what model Jeep you have, what oil you use. For the TJ, we're going to do it every 3,000 miles.
Oh, I thought it was 5,000.
We did use a synthetic blend, but we're going to do 3 to 5, but in between 3 to 5,000. But we're going to start thinking about it at 3,000 miles.
Oh, you said when we did it to check it like 2,500 miles to make sure that everyth's.
I want to make sure it's not
black by
super black and
25.
everything's clean. We've got plenty of oil left in there, right?
Yeah.
The good news is when we did your oil, we had plenty of oil that we pulled out, so you weren't burning and losing a lot of oil.
Oh yeah, no, I
think 4.5.
Yeah, it was 4.5 minus the stuff I dropped out.
Yeah, right. So it was probably closer to 5.
Yeah, probably closer to what you betted on.
Yeah, and that's not bad because that engine calls for 5.5 to 6 quarts of oil.
Yeah.
So I think we were pushing the time frame and the miles before we did it. But I think it was a real good place to do it. I love that Jamie included this. Always check your blinker fluid.
Oh yeah.
But oil is important, and I'm glad we did that, and you got to experience that. So change your oil between every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. I'm at 131,000 miles ish, so I'm doing mine a little more frequently than I did when it was newer. When it was newer, I was doing about 5,000 miles. But now that the engine's getting a little bit older and I've got plenty of mileage on it, I'm going to do it a little more frequently, right around the 3,500
That's where
miles.
I'm around at the 130.
Yep.
Too. I think I'm like 130.
135. Yep. And some change. Yeah.
135,000, not 100.
While we were under the hood, we checked some fluids.
Yeah, we did.
What fluids did we check?
Coolant, brake, and obviously oil, but that's not fluid.
And transmission.
We did do transmission. Yeah, that was the one. I knew I was forgetting one of them, but I couldn't think of what it was.
The one fluid that we didn't check, and I realized this as I was driving my Jeep, was we didn't do anything with the wiper fluid, and
No.
yours is empty.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, because whenever you pull it, it like tries.
So we need to get some wiper fluid in there.
Yeah.
I think that's very important. Visibility is a real thing. You want to be able to
Yeah.
you want to be able to see
Especially recently with
all
the smoke.
and the dust, and
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. We haven't had rain in a couple weeks.
I mean, it rained today.
Huh?
It rained today.
It did not rain today.
It sprinkled.
It did not.
Yes, it
That
did.
was a sprinkler system on the field.
No, it was not. That's not what I'm talking about. On the way home, it sprinkled slightly
Okay.
for like 2 seconds,
I'll
and I
take your
mean
word for
2
it.
seconds.
Filters.
Yeah.
When you change the oil, you change the oil filter.
Yeah, oil filter.
What did we check?
The air filter.
Air filter.
Yeah, it's next time we do the oil, we gotta change the air filter.
That's exactly right. Yours wasn't clogged or
Nope.
anything. It was medium clean, so we'll do it the
Yeah.
next time. But you want to make sure to check that so that your engine is getting a good, clean, cooler airstream into the engine to mix with the fuel and
Make sure you get a good
explosion.
explosion on there.
Yeah, gotta have it.
Yeah.
It's a combustible engine.
Hey, that's
For newer Jeeps like JKs, JLs, and JTs, you want to check your cabin filter. And the cabin filter is, I think on all of these vehicles, it hides behind the glove box. But it's the filter that filters out all the air that comes into the cabin, not through the windows or doors, but all the air that you get through your
I don't have
heating and
that.
cooling. You don't have that.
I get to breathe the oil air.
Last time I checked mine, because I wheel in coal country, there was a lot of black coal dust, and
Ooh,
it was
yeah.
completely clogged, and I pulled it out, and it was black. And it's only been a year since I changed it. So I was like, some of that stuff's going in my lungs for sure.
That's some silica dust for you,
Yeah,
probably too.
Yeah, for sure. So
Silicosis
change those
or whatever.
out. They take maybe 8 minutes to change out at the tops.
Unless a bolt's rusted, which is bound to happen.
Well, the good news on those, you don't have any bolts.
Do they just slide right out?
You remove your glove box, you lift up a little thing, pull them out, put new ones in, you're golden.
Perfect.
Yeah.
No rusty bolts. As you can tell, I have a problem with rusty bolts. They annoy me.
Yes.
It's only happened on every single project we've done.
All right, brakes. Now, we haven't gotten into brakes with your vehicle yet. You helped me do brakes on mine
Yeah, and Mom's
a
old
couple
one.
years. That's right, and you did. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
And then we got rid of that.
So, good news is I checked your brakes when we had the wheels off,
All right.
doing the tires. You've got life on your front pads. You're good.
Good. I'm not gonna die one of these days.
No, and your rotors look good. So you are good with that. But check your brakes on a regular basis. You don't want those wearing down to the metal, and stopping is important.
Also, you'll hear it when it gets.
Yes,
It-
you will.
It doesn't sound pretty.
Yeah.
I remember when yours was running, and you would drop me off at school, and everyone would look because it was so loud.
metal
and
on metal.
Ooh, I don't like metal on metal. Not a great sound for me. Don't like it. Not many people do, but
So brakes, if they need repair, do them. If you're a handy person, do them yourself. If not, go and have somebody do them. But usually, if you belong to a Jeep club, you can put it out there and
you'll find someone.
serve some pizza and adult beverages, and
Yeah.
you'll find somebody to come over and,
Bring
and
a
help you.
pack of beer and some pizza and
Why are you? You're my 16-year-old kid. You're not supposed to know anything
don't
about.
act like you don't bring it up every time we go to Billy's. Every time we go to Billy's. All right?
Yeah. So definitely check your brakes, get those fixed and replaced. If you've lifted your rig, and we've talked about this before on if you've lifted it, gotten bumpers and all this stuff, you've added weight, bigger tires, get a bigger brake system.
Oh yeah.
You need that stopping power to stop the mass that you're building
Mhm.
up. So when you do use brakes,
Yeah.
invest the money in a bigger
Make
brake
sure
system.
you're like testing it out, making sure that the weight distribution when you're driving feels right, because you don't want one of these days you just put like something really heavy on, and then you're driving and you rear end someone because you weren't expecting.
That's true, because once you add more weight,
it takes, like, think of a semi. They need a big braking distance.
yep,
so
stopping distance is a real thing.
Make sure that you are, before you even drive on the road, make sure that you learned where your brake stops, or else you're going to rear end someone and then get sued.
Yeah, and with mine and now yours, we're adding weight to it gradually.
Yeah.
So we may not even know when we hit that critical mass point.
It's really only for, like, if you're adding like 2 or 3 things.
If you're adding everything all at once.
All at once.
Yep.
Because that will change it drastically. Like with mine, where you just added heavier wheels, they're stopping actually shorter than what they were because they actually have traction.
Yes.
So I don't need to stop as far back as I was before. Still am.
Yeah. Well, they did add quite a bit of traction,
Yeah.
and I tested the brakes hard on the way home right after they were done. I was like, oh, these do catch. I'm glad we switched them.
Yeah. Well, but if you're putting it all at once, just have it in the back of your head. I need to test the brakes out before I drive on any road, or how fast it's going to stop, and maybe some hard brake touches, some small brake touches, just to make sure you don't rear end someone, because you know that Jeep is going to pummel into the person behind it. It's not going to stop. You got that bumper on it. Even just a stock bumper will ram into it. And
yeah. Speaking of tires, tire rotation.
Tire rotation. I've done that.
Yep.
I have.
You've done that on mine.
Yeah.
And I think it's real important. I guess the rule of thumb is like every oil change, do a tire rotation. 5,000 miles is a good rule of thumb. I'm due. Maybe I'll get that done this week. Do a rotation. If you look online, there are good guidelines for tire rotation, especially putting in your spare tire, how that works. If you have 4 tires, how to do it.
I know the 5 rotation one.
Yes.
So I believe. Oh wait.
Yeah.
I don't. I had it for like a second because I could picture it in my head, and now it's gone.
Yeah, it's really hard to describe. If you look, just Google search.
I believe it's left bottom up to the right top, then bring that right top down, and then take the bottom right up to the top, and then you that's if you're doing 4.
Yep.
Though I think so.
It gets confusing when you say bottom to top and left to right.
Yeah.
Look on a diagram. It's that simple.
Look it up online. You'll find it.
I've done it multiple times. I go to a tire shop sometimes to get them to do the rotation, and I have to draw them a diagram because most of the time they don't rotate in the spare, and they're used to doing car. So, but definitely something you should look at, because you want your tires to wear even, and sometimes with the toe and you're gonna wear uneven. Just do it. Do your rotation regularly. You'll have quieter tires, and your Jeep will love you.
Yeah, exactly. You want the Jeep to love you, or else maybe it won't fight you as much when you're doing repairs.
That's right. Lights and bulbs.
Oh, I've done a lot of those.
Yeah, we have
my reverse.
Your reverse lights.
I forgot.
The bright reverse lights. We need to.
I'm gonna guess
those.
It's something with the cord, because it's not the It's not the bulbs.
Yeah,
right?
so we need to test the electricity coming to it. We've got to do a little testing and find those out. The brake lights and turn signals, those all work. The reverse lights that give you light back there, we need to take a look at that.
And one works.
Does it?
I think so, right?
I don't remember. But we need to look at that.
I think it's only one that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So people can see that I'm backing up, but one side's not that illuminated. Not illuminated at all.
The important part is definitely turn signals, headlights. Make sure to check those on a regular basis. A lot of times you go to oil change service, they'll have you turn on your turn signals and check those for you. But it's easy enough to grab a partner and go back there and say, hey, I'm putting my brakes on. Is there all the lights on? I'm turning my turn signal on. I'm turning my headlights on. I'm turning my fog lights on.
Yeah. Fog lights. Missing one of those too.
So we want to make sure that you go through and check all of those. And if a lot of the stuff is LEDs that are self-contained now. So it might not be a bulb, but there are some bulbs that can be changed.
Yeah.
And
Some die. I mean, bulbs have long lifetime or short lifetime depending on which ones you buy.
yeah,
And I mean, AutoZone has a great selection. Just look up what type it is. And
yep. Or order on Amazon.
Yeah.
Now
that too.
here's my recommendation: if you're going to change a left turn signal bulb, change both of them at the same time, left and right. Change them both. That way you know that you're starting out with
Two
both-
working ones.
two
yeah.
working ones that are about the same age. And
If they come in the same container, then they are the same age, by the way.
right, right. So make sure to, if you swap one side, go ahead and swap both out.
Plus, what does it hurt?
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt anything. Just put it in.
And so with lights and bulbs, we got that. Our headlights now, most people are going to LEDs, so it's not a bulb
Yeah.
switch. It's actually,
It's just like a full.
and the only thing there is maybe the circuitry goes back because most LEDs last for forever.
Or a while.
Yeah. Windshield wiper blades.
Those need. You can tell when those need replacing too.
You can tell most of the time, yeah. But you want to actually pull them off and look
Pull
at
'em
them,
off,
even
yeah.
if you're not seeing signs when they're working. You pull them, pull the wiper blade back, and you can see if it's dry rotted or pitted or cracked. You probably should replace those.
I think I'm on the verge of needing new ones.
We're
definitely,
close. Yeah,
but
we're close.
I think it can wait a little longer before
Yeah.
we get them, but next paycheck or something like that.
Yep, you got to have money to do these things. So
I do need money to do those
Right.
things.
But wipers, you can go for the cheap ones, but since we're Jeepers and we tend to expose our windshields to more things, bugs, dirt, mud, grime, I would spend money on the nicer windshield wipers. Ones that are designed to not just be the basic move water around, but
Yeah.
more to
Get
hold up to
everything
bug
off.
and because our windshields are they're vertical.
Oh, there's no aerodynamics in a Jeep. Come on.
Right.
You should know this by now. It's
It's straight up and down almost. So and, your TJ is more than my JK,
Oh, yeah.
and my JK is more than JLs and JTs, but they're still straight up down, and they attract bugs, mud,
the bugs
rocks.
the rocks too, like our windshields for.
Yeah. Yeah. So something we experienced when we took your Jeep the first time with tire pressure.
Oh yeah.
We were overinflated a little bit.
Yeah, we were.
And we were perfectly inflated if we were, driving around a 5,800 pound Jeep. If we'd
My
have put
Jeep is
those
not that heavy.
tires on mine, but no, your TJ's super light.
My TJ is super small and light
Yeah.
and
And
doesn't
so
need a lot of air in it.
we took 3 pounds of
Yeah.
pressure
It's
out.
at like 20.
Well, we did it when it was hot, but so it was around 28
28.
when it was cool, and so we took it down to 25. Basically took 3 pounds of pressure out. What was happening is we could tell right away that they were crowning a little bit. So the center part of the tire was dirtier than the outside part of
He
the
could
tire.
tell. I did not know what he was talking about until
But
he
once
explained it.
I pointed
Well,
it
yeah,
out
once
to
he pointed it out, I just didn't know that's how that worked. I
Yep.
just thought you were hoping that it was the right one,
you.
and you would find out when it exploded.
Yep. And so we took that down. So you want even tire pressure across the surface of the tire. And I think we're pretty close to that. I want to drive it on a dirt road.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that on the way home, just to check out the pressure and see where it's at. I think we're at a good place,
Yeah.
but I want to double check that. But tire pressure can make a difference of everything. And the more you add weight to your tire, the more you're changing the pressure that it should be. If you look on the side of the door, depending on what tires you have, I am nowhere near the tire pressure that's recommended for my Jeep because I have different tires, different weight.
Different weight, yeah.
But if you're underinflated, meaning you have too little air, you will really cup the outside of the tires,
Yeah.
and they will wear quicker than the inside of the tires. And that'll make for a louder ride. less safe, less grip, all those
Yeah.
sort of things. If you're overinflated, you will wear down the center of the tire quicker.
Yeah.
And then that just makes it nasty in rain and stuff, so your traction will be low on the road. So you want to make sure that you get those tire pressure right. And if you have, I've always ran 32 pounds. Well, what kind of weight situation have
Yeah,
you
exactly.
added to your Jeep? Double check that. Do a chalk test, or in this case, we're going to go to a dirt road and see how much dirt is picked up on the center versus the outside. And the chalk test is pretty simple. You can take like sidewalk chalk or whatever and do maybe 6 inches of tire from inside to outside. Just cover it, and then go drive straight for a while, and then see where your wear is. If you're overinflated, the inside of the chalk will be worn out, and you'll have chalk on the outsides. If you're underinflated, the outside part will be worn down, and the inside will be a little bit darker with chalk. So do that, and if you got even wear all the way across, you're golden. So I recommend doing that. If you haven't done that in some time, do it.
Also, don't worry about it being a couple like point PSIs off. I know sometimes.
Yeah.
In my head, I like it when it's at that like perfect 0 mark, but
your
it
OCD.
really doesn't have to be, as long as it's closer to that 0 mark.
Right.
You don't want it to be like, say we want it at 25. You don't want it to be at like 25.9. That's 30. No, I'm not 30. That's
26.
That's 26.
Yeah. But if it's 25.1 or 24.9,
Yeah. Like
okay.
That's
You're
almost
absolutely
perfect.
right. Absolutely right. And the last thing is something we should do on a more regular basis, myself included. We should crawl under our Jeep and tighten some bolts. Right? Tell me about that, Lex.
Oh, what was it? The crossbar, or what was it that was really loose?
The control arms.
Control arms.
Yeah.
Not the Caesar. It's fine.
Yeah.
The control arms were like basically loose.
Yeah. We were actually
basically
missing
off.
a bolt on.
Missing a bolt. The other ones were like falling off. Just the normal stuff that happens.
So
of course he doesn't want to check that.
The common bolts that need to be tightened. Check your control arms. Those are the easiest to get to. Check those. Make sure they're tightened and torqued properly.
Was it not your axle that was about to fall off too, or your
No.
powertrain?
It was my drive shaft, which is, up here in the list. So control arms, get those. Track bars.
Oh yeah, track bars.
You want to make sure your track bar, because your Jeep goes up and down. That track bar moves in this motion and can definitely
unscrew the bolt.
unloosen.
Yeah.
Check your steering components. Make sure those are nice and tightened. I know that for a fact. My steering stabilizer just came off on going down the highway.
Anymore.
No, it doesn't exist.
It's actually in our garage, scraped up and not used.
Drive shafts. Make sure those
Please
drive
make
shaft
sure
bolts
those are bolted. I beg of you. I do not want to hear that a Jeep has flipped because it fell into the ground.
That's right, as it would dig in. Yep.
It would dig in. Your Jeep would go over.
Yep.
And then it would be on all the newses.
It would be all the newses. So make sure all those are tightened on. With mine, a couple mine were loose. Almost all of them were loose, actually. And
all of them were loose,
the
actually.
Jeep was vibrating to no end.
It was loud. It was.
Yeah.
You could tell something was wrong.
Yep.
And like whenever we would take turns, it would squeak from the control arms, and you'd be like, maybe we should check that out.
Yep.
So we pulled over to Harbor Freight.
No, we were in Ace Hardware.
Ace Hardware.
Yeah.
Got tools for it, tightened as much as we could.
Yep.
And then took it over here, and got
and then
some of it
tightened
done.
everything else. Yep.
Yeah.
Lug nuts on your wheels.
Oh yeah.
Make sure those are torqued to spec, not over torqued, but torqued to spec. All of these should be torqued to a spec, and a simple Google search with your Jeep will give you the torque specs for all of these items.
Does the year have to be?
Yes.
So you have to do like model, make, model, and
Yep.
year. Basically.
So with
like
yours, 2002 Jeep Wrangler.
TJ.
Yep. And you'll get the torque specs for that. And you definitely want to torque them to the right way.
Mm.
If you over torquing, you have run the risk of breaking the bolt.
Yeah.
You have damaging the equipment. If you don't torque it tight enough, it's going to work its way off.
And then more might make its work off, and then
Yes.
tire falls off in the middle of the road, and you're out of a tire
Yes.
and on the ground trying to figure out what just happened.
Yeah, and it is important that those torque specs are made. But those are just some of the maintenance items that we have discovered and you should do on a regular basis. Maintenance is part of owning a vehicle.
Yeah,
And if you're not capable of doing it, fine. Take it to a professional that can.
mm-hmm.
Or if you belong to a Jeep club, buy the pizza and the adult beverages or packs of beer, as Lexi says.
I can't with you.
But definitely do the maintenance, get it done. If you have a particular maintenance item that you think I missed, info@jeeplifepodcast.com and let me know. Or, all of our social medias, just go there and say, hey, Terry, you missed this. Or, hey, have you thought about this? But definitely do that. We have a new listener voicemail, and it's in the show notes, 484-272-5436. We haven't gotten any calls on that lately, and so I had to get a new number and everything. We would love to have that so we can play them on the show. We do love doing that. Linktree, linktr.ee/Jeep Life Podcast, and that will get you to all of our links everywhere. Leave us a note somewhere. Give us a review. This is me shamelessly plugging. Give us a review. It makes a difference on how we show up in our rankings and our ratings. So please give us a review. If you haven't reviewed us on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify or anywhere where you listen, please do that. It means a lot to us. You've reviewed us.
Have I?
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but you reviewed us.
Good. I didn't think I did that. I was a little worried for a second. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I love that you came on the show tonight. Refresh people where they can find you on Instagram.
You can find me at Red Panda Adventure. Just look that up on Instagram. You can find me there. I am working on getting some YouTube videos, trying to see if I can do that, make a channel out of that, and maybe when I'm working on my Jeep, I'll make some videos, post it out there. You can see the progress even more.
Yeah.
When I'm going off-roading soon in the future. I'm hoping for Jeep Enthusiasts Fall Trail Ride.
Oh, yeah.
I should be able to make it out for maybe the Sunday after, not the Saturday. I do have a game.
Yeah.
But the Sunday, I'm hoping I can get out there and get some off-roading. So maybe I'll be posting that, and you can see my first time taking it on the trail.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
It will also be Red Panda Adventure on YouTube as well.
Nice.
Maybe with some numbers behind it, but I assume if you look up Red Panda Adventure, that'll just come up.
Perfect. I love it. Hey, Lex, thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight and sharing, all the Jeep stuff that you're doing. And I think we'll have Break It Billy back in the studio next week. I don't know. It's all up in the air. It's our busy time of the year. Make sure you come see us at all the events that we're going to be at. I was reminded that September 21st is the Fall New Jersey Jeep Invasion, and that's in Ocean City, New Jersey. Great event. I love the fall event. They do a real good job there, so make sure to check that out. As always, I'm Jeep and Terry. Break It Billy's not here, but he would do it anyway. Here's a big Jeep wave to you, everybody. Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us, Lex.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Enjoyed it.
Good. Everybody at home, thanks for hanging out with us and putting up with us and cheering us on and everything that you do. I am really tired. I know that you are.
I'm not, actually.
Are you wired?
I have a ton of energy.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Actually, it's fine. The minute I get home, I'm going to be asleep because
yeah.
7 a.m. in the morning.
Mike says, "Good job, Lex."
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, she carried the show for sure.
I think I did better than him, definitely. I think I should take over.
Oh, here we go. See, this is why I never want to bring her on. No doubt. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. I love you. I can't wait to see you guys somewhere out on the trail. All right. Take care.